go finding. Oh, there's a poop. I just picked up the poop from the previous video, so we only a couple of minutes have passed since the last video, so you could see how I quietly just put down treats and walk backwards while Archie was following me picking up the treats, getting away from the movement he could see out in the back of Nura Park. He's a young dog, so everything at the moment is about catching movement. The visual system is really made to catch movement. So what we experience as sight is really a very cool byproduct of what the visual system really evolved to do, which is catch movement. Looking and catching for movement would find your food. It would alert you to something out there that is ambiguous, that might be dangerous or might be of safe interest. And what we call sight is actually the computation of the brain of what it expects to be out there, and the sensory information, the light hitting the retina, that produces input signals, sensory input signals, that are then interpreted, God, my English is so bad, by the brain. And those signals, if they deviate too much from what the brain expected, then update the brain's computation, and voila, we have sight. It's pretty awesome. This is Dell. See, he saw the others picking up food. He's expecting for more food to be thrown. Expected they've fallen somewhere and he's looking for it now. Archie, I pretend to throw there. I'll go and find it. No, it's too smart. There it goes. Here's Lauren. She's a bit sick over the weekend. Got back to her normal self. Still alert. Yeah. you go. So it's currently about 8 o'clock, so it's not that busy around here. It's a bit harder to keep them focused on you on the weekend when there's a lot of other people out there walking around your park. But that is how you get them away from the movement. So you don't have those altercations at the fences. Keeps them arousal down. Means the heartbeat is a little bit lower, which means they actually can get more sensory inputs deeper into the brain. Scientists call that sensory integration, by the way. When the heart rate is very high, then there is more time when the brain goes by its expectations. So think about it when you're in the car driving and you're excited or you're pissed off, and you have those experiences when you have to brake really hard because suddenly you see somebody braking in front of you, or you see somebody coming out of a side road. Incoming information is just a little bit later, and that is because between the blood pumping the blood through the heart muscle, there is a delay in the visual system, which there's literally no sensory data able to get through the sensory nerve into the brain. So there is a few 100 milliseconds or a few tenths of milliseconds where the incoming data disappears and reappears, disappears and reappears, and every time when there is no data coming in, your brain is making up the rest of what you see with what it has experienced previously. And when I talk about experience in the brain, that's what neurons have done before. So how have they fired before? So neurons are little computation machines. So that's why I always say it's important to keep the arousal down, so you give those brains more chances to make more sense of the world. And it's important to add that the metabolic balance of a system has a lot to do with it. So the healthier a system lives, so good sleep, healthy food, balanced exercise, being able to cope with stress better, have moments where you just shut off to balance the daily stresses. That keeps your metabolic budget in balance. So a neuroscientist called Lisa Feldman Barrett, who has written several books, one was on motion and the recent one was one about the brain. She has a good metaphor for metabolic energy balancing, and she calls it the body budget. So how she explains it is, imagine the system like a bank balance. So when you spend, you have energy going out instead of money. And when you do things like sleeping, resting, gentle exercising, healthy eating, doing something cool with your friends, going to Neuropark with your dogs, little things like this, yoga, just chilling out. These are metabolic deposits. We call them rewards in the dog training industry. And the more value a reward has, the more of a deposit on your body budget it's going to be. And the more you spend, so the more you set yourself in stressful situations, more aroused you are, the crappier you eat, the less you sleep, the more you withdraw from your body budget. And if you're depleted, there's another reason why your brain might not be able to take in as much sensory information. So compress and obstruct into categories and making sense of the world and other people's belief, etc. And it's the same for animals. So I always say, Neuropark is like a little boost to you and your dog's body budget. But not if you get all pissed off because somebody passes too close to Neuropark and you get all wound up, and then the dog gets all wound up if it wasn't already. Or if you just throw balls and they just run around and have those arousal up, then it's not doing much for you and your dog's body budget. This is quite a long video, but it should give you an idea what I do with my dogs. And you saw the first video. Mr. Archie here can bark and run pretty quickly at the fences. Oh yeah, too clever for yourself. You're too clever too. Whee! Right, since it's nice and quiet from now on, I would stop with the treat throwing and I would just let them engage with the rest of the part. But they will stand here for a while waiting for my hand to go in my pocket. So I'll leave you and let you have a rethink about this video. You have a good day. Cheerio.